So welcome to the walkthrough for the May/November 2020 paper. That's because it's the COVID paper. Yeah, it brings back wonderful memories. It's paper one, so put those calculators away. So we start off, rank some numbers in order of size. Now if you want to put extra zeros on to help you account for things, I just think of it as money. You've got 32 pence, but here you've got just over 30 pence. So that one comes first. 32 pence comes next. 35 pence. And 40 pence. It's a list of numbers. So multiple of 3, that's your 3 times table. 6 threes are 18. That's the only one in this list. Nearest whole number. So again, I always think money, £4.66 to the nearest whole number, which is the nearest pound. It's £5. 3/4 of a decimal. Hopefully you don't have to work it out. It's one of those you really need to get learned. 0.75. The value of the 7 there, you could write it in words, 700s, but numbers is allowed in the mark scheme. Number 6, Geeta, fair-sided spinner. So, probability of landing on a C, there's 4 out of 8, that's a half. Landing on a D, there aren't any, that's impossible, so that's a 0. Pictograms. So, you're told 18. So there's a whole thing, let's call it, and half a thing. The only way you can have a whole plus a half of itself to make 18 is 12 and 6. So one of these sort of ovally window things is worth 12. So on Tuesday, 24 eggs. We need 2 of them. For 27 eggs, we need 2 full ones. But if half is 6, half of that is 3. So a little quarter circle, any quadrant, will suffice. Marks earned. Number 7, good old coordinates. So the coordinates of point A is 2 along, 3 up. So 2 to the right, 3 up. Coordinates of B, it's none along, 1 down. So 0, down 1. And finally mark the point, left 2, up 1. In it goes, label it as C. On to number 9. So, very popular question, the relationship between ratios and fractions. So, there's 2 people or sections or colours or whatever, but you write the one you want over the total. This one, it's non-calc. You want to get a 1 on there, so you need to do 30. And you've got to divide it by 12. Not the easiest without a calculator, but let's simplify this fraction. Divide top and bottom by 6. It's a bit easier to work out. 5 halved is 2.5. On to number 10. Wordy, but not the worst by any stretch. So, Jenny's 12 marbles, a quarter are large. Quarter of 12, 12 divided by 4, that's 3 of them. Each large one is 70 grams. So either mental arithmetic, 7 threes are 21, or do the whole thing. The rest, so that'll be 9 of them, are 50, or 9 fives are 45. So we'll do this one the quick way. And total means add. So we're getting 660 grams for Jenny's marbles. Next. So I'll draw it freehand because I'm rubbish with the ruler thing on here. But let's assume I'm using a ruler. So we count 2 away, that's there, and that's 4 away. So that gives you the beginnings of the shape. Oh, look at that, that's perfect. All the way down, across, and do as many coordinates by counting as you want, but as soon as you feel confident where the shape goes, pop it in. If yours is not better than mine, you need to do it again. Find the output when the input is 7. So you stick 7 in, you double it for 14, you subtract 3 for 11. Finding the input means reverse the flow, do the opposites. So we're going to add 3 to get 44. We're going to divide by 2 to get 22. On to bearings. Now you'll have to trust me on this. When you've got a bearings question, before I read anything, join them up. You might be the sort of person who makes that line even longer. It's entirely up to you. But find the bearing of B from A. From A means you're stood at A with your nose facing north and you turn clockwise. So it's accurately drawn. That's why you need to get your protractor out. If you measure it accurately, it's bang on 25. It needs a 0. Bearings are always written in 3 digits. You are allowed to be within 2. Work out the real distance. So if you get your ruler out, you'll get 5 centimetres. Again, you're allowed plus or minus the rule of 2. And so to go from 1 to real life, you've got to multiply by 25,000. Loads of zeros, which is quite nice. And it's 125,000. But because you haven't got a change of units there to there, it's centimetres to centimetres, just lots of them. So this is in centimetres. So to change it to metres, divide by 100. To change metres to kilometres, divide by 1,000. So divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1,000. It's 1.25 kilometres. Number 14. Two-way tables, always very wordy page in full this, but always take it one line at a time. So 11 of the 20 female students said swimming. Doesn't tell us enough to fill any more in. 2 of the male students said tennis. Again, not enough to fill in. 5 students said cricket. It then says the number of male students who said cricket was the same as the number of male students who said swimming. It says complete the two-way table. So we can fill in this. That 10. And so there we go. 10 take away 2 gives us 8, which we split in half. And now we can go 4 plus 1 makes that 5. 1 and 11 across the female students makes 12. In goes an 8. 2 plus 8 make 10. 4 plus 11 make 15. And we should finally double check across that row makes 30, which it does. Jamila makes a drink. 1 part orange squash, 9 parts water. 750 ml of orange squash, same multiplier, so 750 multiplied by 9. 45, so 6750. So we've got 6750 mils of water, 750 mils of orange juice, adding up. It means we've got 7,500 mils, but going to be put into 1 litre bottles. So the 500 ml on the end, not enough to fill it. 7 bottles, on we go. Number 16, explain why it's not possible for the median to be 5. Well, as you can see from the information, all the data is less than 5. No way can the median. Alright, can be 5. Median means middle. It's going to be 2 or something. Tina also worked out, etc., etc. The spot is that 0 times 1 is not 1. So anything along those lines will pick up the easy mark. We've got a wordie. So on Monday, it's reduced by 10%. So that's £50 off. Divide it by 10. So on Monday, it gets reduced to 450. On Tuesday, it's reduced by 20%. Well, 10% is 45. Double it for 20. So we need to subtract 90 from 450. Take off 100, add on 10. By Tuesday, this TV is £360. Does Chris have enough money? He's got £400. Yes will suffice, but I always like to go a little bit further. He'll have £40 spare. Number 18, estimating. You're allowed a little bit of leeway for this one. My preference for this would be to go 800 times by 300 all over 50. On top, 8 threes are 24, and there'll be 4 zeros, but one of those zeros is about to leave. So really, it's 5s into 24,000. 4 5s are 20, 8 4s, and in we go. My answer is 4,800, which is right at the top. The mark scheme allows 4,550 to 4,800 inclusive. But if you want above or one below, it's a no. Some algebra. Expand means get rid of the brackets. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Factorise means take out a common factor. The only thing that is in common here is they're in the 5 times table. 5 threes are 15. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. This one, you could divide both sides by 7, but that only works on the nice whole number answers, so I'll stick to expanding the brackets. It does work here, by the way, but best off with a method that always works. Add 35 to both sides, and we divide both sides by 7 to get 9. On we go to nth term. Whoops. So as soon as it's going up in threes, 3n gets you your first mark. Make a note of your 3 times table, don't have to do them all. But as you can see, it's the 3 times table, take away 2. Number 21 is a fractions question. Yes, they've given you the answer. It says show, so you might as well ignore the answer. Show means do. So how do we do this? Top heavy first. Big times bottom plus top. Big times bottom plus top. So I'll do a bit of pre-cancelling because on the top I've got a number in the 3 times table, so divide by 3. And same on the bottom, divide by 3. So top times top is giving me 35. Bottom times bottom is giving me 4. How many times does 4 go into 35? It's 8, remainder 3. That's how you'd write it in primary school. When we're in primary school, the remainder goes on top. And that's exactly what we wanted. Onto some graphs. So, which one's which? I'll just squeeze it in. So first of all, graph A. One you've got to learn, that's the reciprocal graph. And graph D, that's one you should recognise. That is the quadratic graph, y equals x squared. Then you've got graphs B and C. I know I've chopped B off a little bit, doesn't matter, but they're flipped upside down. They are the same graph, but one's a minus. And a bit like the graph of y equals minus x, y equals minus x cubed is downhill. So B, C, D, A for the answer. So congruent means same shape and size. Now I think it's a little bit obvious here because there's just not enough information on triangles C and B. But another way of spotting, you've got 2 angles, you can work out the third. You've got 2 angles, you can work out the third. So angle side angle, the 10 is on the 55 and 45. The 10 is on the 55 and 45. They are a flip, alright, they are a rotation or whatever, but you can cut that out of paper, turn it around, flip it over, and get that one. The other 2, that's not the case. Number 24. Percentage profit without a calculator. So 24 chocolate bars, 50p each, so 2 for £1. Sean's took £12, bought for 10, so his actual profit is 2. And to work out percentage profit, it's actual profit divided by original amount multiplied by 100. And again, we can do some pre-cancelling, top times top, bottom times bottom. Not normally friendly if you haven't got a calculator, but they've made this one super friendly. Number 25. I'm not going to waste your time by writing out all the reasons. I've done them all on my work solutions, so just click on the PDF on my website. But I'll just talk you through them. So first of all, that 63 repeats here because corresponding angles are equal. This here, that's 32 because angles on a straight line make 180. And the angle at the top, which is what they're after, is 180. Take away the 2 angles you've just worked out. And that works out because angles in a triangle also make 180. And we get the angle to be 85. On to number 26. So, stem and leaf, but without drawing a stem and leaf. So, what you need to do, I'm not going to write the full sentences out, but they've given you the data for the girls. Now, as soon as I see least and greatest, stick down the range, biggest take away smallest. The range for the girls is 20. range for the boys, 182 minus 158, 24. So one of your sentences needs to say that the boys' range is bigger than the girls' range. No need to go in depth any more than that. Then we've got the median. So if we start crossing out and find the median for the lads, we end up with the median being 168. So the boys' median is 168. So on average, the boys are taller than the girls. Keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate. Number 27. So, one thing to look up on your formula sheet, a reminder, it's a prism. So, to get the area of the base, the face, or whatever you want to call it, you need to do volume divided by height, means the area of the base is 6. Then we've got this equation up here, pressure equals force divided by area. Let's multiply both sides by area. So to work out force, it's area, which is 6, multiplied by pressure, which is 75. Little bit of working out. 450 newtons. On we go. So, hard to compare. Some might be obvious to some people. I'll just go with the old-fashioned, write them out in full. So first number is 672 zeros, because it moves 5 times, so get counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, same goes, except it moves left 4 times. This one, there's no decimal point, so simply stick 4 zeros on. And here, leave it alone. So the smallest number, there's 3 zeros there. So that's the smallest. And that's the next smallest. They look similar. They're a power of 10 off. And here we've got more zeros there. So 672 times 10 to the power of 4 is last. And the penultimate 6.72 times 10 to the power of 5. So number 29, certainly one I bet a lot of people leave out. My advice, take them away from fractions. A to B is 2 to 5. B to C is 3 to 4. How can we link? Well, it'd be nice in the middle. We need the link of the B's. 15's the link. So up top, that's multiplying by 3. Do the same to A. That's multiplying by 5. Do the same to C. 5 times 4. That's it. Again, doesn't look very nice, but do not overcomplicate. Finally, some algebra to polish off. Make the subject means rearrange, which means do opposites. Subtract 7 from both sides. Divide both sides by 6. You're done. And finally, laws of indices. Power to a power. You should multiply the powers. Minus times a minus. Positive 6. So answer m to the 6. Hope you enjoyed the COVID paper. See you on the next one.